Alright, Wiggle here. I'm following up on the earlier video of in the garden. Here's some of our produce. There is a lot more. I got this here. And I got all my basil in these trash bags. I'm going to try to take some of the leaves off and see if I can sprout them in water. And then I'm also trying to save the seed. Some more of that red basil. I'm going to work on that first tonight. That's why it's sitting out. Did not get far on cleaning up this greenhouse. But here's all of our peppers. And the ones that I knew, I went ahead and labeled with masking tape. So here's a couple dozen, looks like a couple dozen peppers. There is all my tomato suckers. There are 3 buckets there. I don't know why that one's out. Oh, it's just a really long one. Okay, there's 3 buckets. Well, I'll show you what I'm going to do with those on the next video. Just wanted to show you what we got out of the garden. So, suckers, got all the produce, and then we got these. And these are not final. I kind of just rough pruned them. I'll do a little bit better job on pruning them. But that's the basic idea. So I'll do a video as I final prune them and get them ready. Had this purple pepper, kind of cool. That's not an eggplant, some kind of purple variety. So that's the only one. I'll figure out what that one is. So anyway, I'll get this greenhouse cleaned up tomorrow and show you some things I'm going to do with those peppers. I'm going to show you the garden. I'm going to try to call the cows over to the sweet potatoes. Since they're going to die tonight at 40, they won't look dead tomorrow, but they'll be dead. They'll be wilting over the next few days after it hits 40 like this. So I'm going to go ahead and make sure they get the most use out of those vines is feeding them to these cows while they are fresh, green, lush. Got all those tomatoes out of there. All that's left is this sunflower stalks. And we got some panels up here. We just ran out of daylight. I left a little holy basil here. We'll try to naturalize. I left 1 plant. It's some nice looking stuff. The cows won't eat that, so. And hopefully they won't tear up my trellises too bad or my steel wires. But they should wipe out all of this sweet potatoes. I kind of want them just to come in and get it done, and then I'll lock them out. Come here, Jersey girl. Come on. That's a good girl. Come on. There she comes. Big dog. Come on. Good girl. Good girl. Come on in here. Come on in here. That's it. Yeah. Let me get out of here before I get trampled. I'm going to pause this for a sec. So that saves me a ton of work. So I've done that manually, and I tell you, it's no fun. And I've actually cleaned it all up, scraped it all up, or raked it all up and put it on the loader and drove it over to the cows before. And I'm getting smarter, quote unquote. I'm going to just have them eat it right in place. There's nothing in this part of the garden that they can really hurt. And if they break one of my trellises or knock down one of my wires, I'll just fix it. So that they'll be done by dark, and I'll show you a little video right at dark after they get cleaned up. They'll mob graze this in no time flat. Very nutritious though. The sweet potato vine actually humans can eat. We can eat it. We just don't need it right now. So we're going to give it to the cows and get the use out of it. I would be doing this on a bigger scale in the years to come. Sweet potatoes are a staple crop. They don't like the cold though. And yeah, they're not going to even touch that basil. So they're going to enjoy some sweet potatoes, and I'll show you when the crew's done. Come on. That's it. So not all of them figured it out. Some of them rushed in there and too crowded, so they turned around and came back out. So some of them don't know what they're missing, but they're cleaning up this other stuff. So cleaning up my front yard. What are you doing, girl? What are you looking at me all crazy for? That one's eating the spiny amaranth. That's great. Eat it up. Spare me. So we have clearing skies and northerly breeze. They're saying 40. I'm saying like 38. I'm going to say it's going to get below 40 tonight. It will here because I could just feel that cool coming in. So they didn't tear up my wires too bad. They kind of got in underneath them. And they're munching down. They like the leaves better than the vines, obviously, but they like the vines. They'll eat the whole thing. So they're working on it. I imagine they'll probably polish it off before they get full. I'm sure they'll have room for all this. They haven't had that much green. They've been eating a lot more hay lately. So tomorrow's November 1st. Our grass is about gone. So this is definitely a boon for them. They're having a good year though. They're getting the acorns out there in the woods. They like that. So, crew's hard at work. Tomorrow we'll just come in and just pull the tubers out. And we don't want to let them sit because the rats get to them. Saw 2 rats this morning. So we'll figure out a way to get those things trapped. But, and not feed them sweet potatoes. I found out if you leave the sweet potatoes too long, they'll just start eating them. Eating them all and growing babies, and then they come and eat them all. So you don't want to leave the sweet potatoes in. Just wait till that killing temperature hits and then harvest them up. So, I was going to say I really think this is a really sustainable approach, having cattle and growing sweet potatoes as a staple crop. Even in zone 7 here, I got these in really late, so we're not going to have really very big ones probably. They did have a nice sunny location, but they were also fighting with these sunflowers. So we'll see. We'll get something eatable, but they're not going to be big. Just got them in way too late this year. But all the tiny roots, I'll save all those and just put them right back in next year. And I'll try to put my sweet potatoes just out in the field, out in just a regular paddock. And let the cows in when they're ready, and then we'll get that much more use off the land. So, and they're not really pulling the roots out. You notice they're focusing on the vines, and I think the roots will kind of stay put. And I just lucked out on those wires. I just kind of put them at a comfortable height when I was installing them, even with the cattle panel, and they can just slide under it. So if I would have done it too low, it would have created a problem. It would have been breaking down my trellises. So anyway, I'll give you a picture in the morning when I show you my next project. Show you what they did, but we're changing the garden rapidly around here. Good night for now. Appreciate you watching. Wiggle out. I noticed they are tearing up my nice soft ground here. And yeah, you can look back earlier, I think it was in April or May, when I put these mounds in. I put cucumbers, sunflowers, basil, tomatoes, and sweet potatoes, if I said everything right. So this is a very new part of the garden, and the dirt is super soft right now. You can just see their hooves just sinking right in. So I'm just going to show you a different perspective on them feeding. This is a little bitty patch right here. Imagine if you had an acre or something. Very high quality forage. I think it's fairly high in sugar. I think they really love it. So this is how you can work plants and animals and people all together. And by the way, my trellis for sunflowers worked pretty good. Some of my sunflowers got eaten early on, I think. That's why I have these gaps. So maybe plant more sunflowers or plant them at a earlier time of the year to make sure you get your full set. But yeah, that's a really great way for structure for beans or for tomatoes or cucumbers or anything like that. Just kind of a shortcut. Use your sunflowers. All right, well now it's wiggle out. You guys have a good night.